going to give you a little tutorial and some background about how I've been using Skool as a way to get better leads coming into my lead funnel. So, if you have purchased a course and then you know that the way to gain more sales is to get more leads, and you get those leads through your content and through maybe going live on TikTok or Instagram or something like that. So I am going to tell you my experience with getting leads coming in through a freebie and then putting in them into an email system just wasn't working for me. And so I'm going to walk you through a little bit about how I came to start a Skool community and how it's working for me. So I'm going to literally be sharing my screen with you so you can see exactly how I'm doing this with a funnel inside of Skool. So if you are in digital marketing, so happy that you're here and watching this video. I will tell you that a lot of digital marketers who get started are starting off from a place of being a complete beginner. So zero followers and zero skills in creating content. And so what happens with a lot of digital marketers when they start is that they are thinking that they can create the content that people with a massive following have created. Like they can create content like that. You see all these digital marketers who've made $500,000 in a year or have made over $1 million in a year and a half or something like that. And so these massive income claims are they're great and it's motivational and people get started because it is so motivational. But what do you do as a complete beginner when you don't have those sales, you don't have the credibility, you don't have the amount of followers, and so your content just kind of sits there. And your leads, there's not really a reason for someone to grab another PDF download or watch another webinar because a lot of them have already seen and gotten those freebies out there and they don't want to get onto another email list. So here is what I discovered. And I discovered using Skool as a way to build my relationship with people. So a little bit about me was I started in digital marketing, a digital business 2 years ago. I wanted to create passive income from promoting my own digital products. So I actually made some courses and some ebooks and guides, and then I got into higher ticket affiliate programs. And I have a real estate background, no idea how to run a successful digital marketing business. And so I jumped in, I bought a course, and I learned a lot of those high income paying skills and also the power of automations and automations through those funnels that we all learn about when we get started. So here was what I found the problem was. I loved the course, but I found out rather quickly that there are so many people reselling the same course. And the ones that were super successful already had a huge following and they had those income claims, like I talked about. So, how was I going to stand out as a brand new beginner of someone who is among thousands of people reselling this same course that everyone else is selling? Like the concept of affiliate marketing is amazing, but also when there's thousands of people doing it, I realized that I really needed to stand out. I really needed to do that through a relationship that I would create with people that they would know, like, and trust me to start a business with. So I found out that creating content on my TikTok or my Instagram just wasn't enough. It wasn't cutting it. I was creating 3 videos a day really consistently, but it wasn't enough to create a connection with people. It was just enough to spark curiosity. I think that you guys can probably relate to that when you see a piece of content, a video or a reel that's posted on social media, you see someone's face, you maybe are hearing their voice if they're talking, but there's not a connection that is built. There needs to be more in order to build that connection. So to create this relationship, I would send people to my freebie, which at the time was a downloadable PDF, and they would give me their email in exchange for this freebie. So once they were on my email list, I thought they would buy from me because now we had this connection. And what I found out was that the email marketing was not working. So once people were on my email list, inside of that, they were now in my freebie email campaign, and they would get 15 daily emails from me. And I thought in my mind, well, they must want to buy from me. Otherwise, they wouldn't have given me their email and they wouldn't have grabbed my freebie. But what I found was that emails, they didn't create this connection that I had hoped. They just got lost in spam or promotions folders inside their inbox. Probably I was like one of many that were sitting there unread. So the only frame of reference they had for me personally was that one piece of content that they saw that one time. So I just went back to the basics of selling. What causes people to buy? People buy because you are solving a problem for them. They trust you and they can relate to you in some degree, to some degree. The goal, obviously, when we start a digital marketing business, is to get sales. So you create content, the content gives you leads, and those leads lead to sales. So here's the problem. Problem number one: the lead funnels that come with these courses are pretty generic. They are that free PDF that you can customize. Usually it comes with a customizable PDF that you put it in Canva and you can put your name on it, you can put your pictures in it, you can put your story in it, and that's great. But or they might come with a free webinar that explains about the business, or it explains what digital marketing is or how it works, or they might share testimonies and that kind of thing. Here was another problem. They would give me their email. Oh, what I was going to say though is in those, even though they're customizable, those PDFs and webinars are still pretty generic. That was my point. So problem number two is they would give me their email, but the emails either were not getting opened at all, or they just weren't personal enough, even though I was personalizing them. The problem, number three, is that people were just plain tired of getting emails and they would scroll right past, and there was no opportunity to build a connection or a relationship with them in those emails. So how was I going to fix this? I knew that I could solve their problem. I knew that I could do that with the course and the business opportunity that I had. And I showed them how I was going to solve this problem for them in that freebie, plus all of those follow-up emails. They could relate with me on some level of my story because they clicked on my content. So something resonated with them. But the one thing out of those three things of why people buy that was still missing is they didn't trust me. I hadn't created and earned that trust yet. So what I discovered, or what I thought to myself, was they just need more connection. That was how I was going to solve that problem. So I figured the way to solve this connection and trust problem was to just show up more in their emails with more personalized content. So what I started doing is sending out weekly emails with a video that I would make similar to this, and I would embed that video in the emails that I was sending out. I thought this would be a great way for them to connect with me face to face again. Like, the face to face was what they had seen in my content. So this would just sort of enforce that even more. And that would create some more relatability, and it would create this trust and more connection. But I got really burned out on this because I found that wasn't working. And one email a week started turning into more frequent emails. And I would be sending them out every day because the people who were selling the courses were doing that. I was in a lot of these people's email addresses and or in people's email systems. And the ones that were making a lot of sales, that's how they were doing it. So I was emulating and copying what they were doing by creating an email every day. So that must be the right solution, right? And then I was putting videos with those emails on top of it all. And it was just starting to really pile up. And I was getting to where I was like, I was doing this a lot and really no results. So I even used ChatGPT to help me with my emails. I would have ChatGPT write my email content and I would batch create these emails in a pretty short amount of time, but they still weren't getting opened. So it was still a problem. So I started thinking outside the box and I thought, okay, what if I could create a community where people felt seen and heard and felt? Because these people that were thinking about the fact that they knew that there was a problem for you to solve, or that they knew that you had the solution to that problem that they had, but the problem was that they needed to connect the dots. They needed more information. They needed more, they had questions about, how does this work? How does it come together? How do I know I'm going to make sales? How am I going to mitigate my risk of spending that money on a course? They had a lot of questions. So I figured that a community would be a great place for them to ask those questions and get more resources, more information, and just a feeling of community of other people who are hanging out and doing the same thing, asking those same questions. So this is where Skool came in. So I had heard about Skool a couple years ago and I'd already used it a few times. And the model was really, really simple. Invite people in, you create a vibe, you give value, you help, and you serve people. And I thought maybe this is the thing that people need. So I created this funnel inside my community, and I'll show you that in a minute, and a place where people could come and they could ask more questions and decide if this would be a good fit for them. And so that's what I've done is I've created the Passive Profit Society, which you guys are a part of. But here is how it works. So this is my Passive Profit Society main page. And what I did from here is, and I'm going to show you exactly how I set up my funnel and how this can work for you too. Okay. You guys can start a Skool community. When someone clicks the link in my bio, it takes them directly to my storefront, which is over on the left here. And that storefront at the very top is my community. And I have a little blurb about what it is and a little picture of the logo, and people click there to join. And then when they do that, it takes them into the About page. And my About page, I have a brief 1-minute video with some bullet points of what is included inside the community. And then they just tap on Join Group in order to join. And when they do that, they answer these questions before I approve them. So they answer, what is your email address? How did you find us? And what are you excited to learn? It's kind of a little gatekeeping method that Skool makes it really simple to do. I'll actually share with you how I set this up. Then once they answer those questions and I hit the approve button, then an auto DM is sent to them with a link on exactly where to go inside the community to start. So you can see here, I have a link to one of the modules inside of my classroom. So here's where it takes them. I link them inside the classroom. That link takes them right here to the Getting Started module. And I have a link here to my free masterclass, How to Start an Online Business from Scratch. And then I also have and so for you, if you don't have a masterclass or a webinar, maybe you would take them directly into your PDF, or maybe you would create a video for them that you could upload right here. So the next little lesson here is, what is digital marketing? This is a short little 1.5-minute video. If they're brand new to the idea of digital marketing or how to start, I have it all broken down. And then right here is a link to purchase my course, which is Digital Wealth Academy. And it takes them directly into my storefront. So this is super, super simple. And Skool makes it extremely simple to get started. Inside the settings, you click on plugins. And plugins are, you're going to turn on the membership questions and the auto DM new members. That's available. That feature is available at the pro level. And if you don't have a pro account, you can just start off by manually sending them a DM if you want to. I wanted it automated because it makes my life so much simpler. So here's how you start. You pick a name for your community that reflects what it is that you do. So mine is called Passive Profit Society. You can go to ChatGPT and give me some ideas for a Skool community name based on what I do, digital marketing, and I help people create passive income online, for example. And then you would go to canva.com and you'll create some graphics there. So there's a thumbnail graphic of 128 by 128 and a cover photo that's 1084 by 576. And you just put that into the custom dimensions, and you can even use some of their pre-done graphics. And then you create your about page. That's that first page that I showed you that has the video and a description of what is inside your community. And then you're going to create your funnel. So from there, you create a resource or a getting started section in your classroom. And you're uploading your freebie and your purchase links to your course. And then what you want to do is create a pinned welcome post for your main community page. And you encourage people to introduce themselves and just make it a fun environment, give them instructions on how to navigate the community. But you start posting questions and ideas and polls and resources, and you'll start to see people respond and engage. And you can follow up with people in the DMs. And if you aren't creating a connection inside the community, just go to the DMs and let them know, hey, I noticed or you can say something like, it's great to have you in here, and just curious if you were able to go through and watch the masterclass and if they have any questions. So that is how I have created this nice little safe environment for people, and Skool makes it super, super simple. You can create a fun community, not salesy. You want to just make a post every day and engage and respond to other people's posts and questions. And you're going to find out what people are struggling with, what questions they have, and how you can serve them better just by asking. And people will engage inside of a community, and they don't engage on an email list. So that is how I've used Skool. When you start with Skool, you're going to choose, there's two different plans available. There's a $9 a month plan or a $99 a month plan. And I think most people can start at the $9 a month plan. Skool makes it super affordable for you to get started to create this community. And you have at your fingertips the entire platform. You have your community section, your classroom section, your calendar section. You can even host weekly Q&A calls for people if they have questions. So it really is a place for you to be creative and lead people and help them to be a part of something. People want to be a part of something, and they want to be a part of your journey. And when they know that you're the person who's going to be able to help them get started, not only get started, but also scale a business and make more sales and better content, and you're going to be there to walk them through every step of the way, they're going to buy from you. So I love this strategy instead of an email list. So I would love to know in the comments if you are going to start a Skool community and what you name it. And I can't wait for your own journey into this really unique way of building a relationship with your potential customers.